God loves you. As I'm telling these stories, I'm walking, and sometimes I only tell one per walk, sometimes 2 or 3. Today, this makes number 4. I'm actually walking with my wife. She's up there, walking just ahead of me. I would introduce her, but she's very private. Doesn't want to be on camera. She said I could shoot her from behind, so she's good with that. But she said that I should take a break from all the serious stuff and tell one of my jokes. I'm not a comedian, and I don't really tell jokes that well, but I've got a few, and she's got one that's a favorite of hers. So I told her I'd let that be my next video. So this is a joke about 3 strings. So there's these 3 strings that one day get off work, and at the end of their workday, they're buddies. They go to a bar because they're going to have some, a couple of drinks before they go home. And they sit down at a table. One of the strings says, "Hey fellas, I'll go get the beers." So he gets up, goes to the bar, says to the bartender, "3 brews for me and my buddies." Bartender looks at him and says, "We don't serve strings here." So the string, gets down off the bar stool, walks back to his friends at the table and says, "Hey, sorry fellas, he says they don't serve strings here." So the big string gets up and he says, "I'll take care of this." Walks up to the bartender and says, "3 brews for me and my buddies." Bartender looks at him, cocks his head, pulls up a baseball bat from behind the bar, holds it over his head, and he says, "We don't serve strings here." So the big string goes back to his table and says, "Sorry fellas, he says they don't serve strings here." So the 3rd string says, "That's all right guys, I'll take care of this." So he goes out to his car and goes into his glove box and finds a pair of scissors and a comb. And with the scissors, he cuts himself in half and then ties those ends into a knot. And with the comb, he frays out both his top and his bottom. He goes back into the bar, steps up to the bartender and says, "3 brews for me and my buddies." The bartender looks at him, wonders for a second, and then asks, "Are you a string?" And he says, "I'm afraid not." I'll see you next time.